Okay.
Really that message was motivation, really stepping into your greatness. Beautiful message. I wanted to share that with you because there's some points from that video that we're going to all throw in throughout my talk in the next hour or so. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Listen, I want to tell you about, it was a beautiful spring day in Central Texas recently. The state flower, the Texas bluebonnet, was in bloom as far as the eye could see. A cobalt sea of blue, in fact. Beautiful, stunning. And in this quaint little Texas Southern Baptist church, there was this young, handsome preacher and his beautifully dressed congregation. You know how they have those big hats and perfect outfits, it all matches. Beautiful congregation. And he opens up and he says, now, if anybody will give $1,000, I'm going to let you pick the next 3 hymns. The little old lady in the back stands up, raises her hand very quietly, carefully. And she says, Pastor, I'll do it. And he said, well, thank you very much, ma'am. That's mighty kind of you. Go on ahead, pick out the next 3 hymns. And she looked out over that congregation and she said, oh, I'll pick him and him. She didn't know she was getting herself into, right? She had determined, she made up her mind that day, right? She was going to give and receive in abundance. How funny. I just wanted to share that with you all, but it's interesting that joke is very appropriate, and so are a lot of the points in that video, because those are mind principles. Mind principles. And in the book of Proverbs, I love the book of Proverbs. If you're having trouble in your life, I know that some of us have not read the Bible, and that's okay. I grew up having to memorize the things, so I know a lot about it. But in the book of Proverbs, in chapter 23, it says this, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? That literally, it says what it means, but what does it mean metaphysically? And metaphysically, what we understand is, if you will believe it, you will achieve it. That's what it means metaphysically. Cosmic mind, that infinite intelligence that we call God, gave us all a very powerful mind with all the potentials of itself inside of us. The moment that our human mind actually connects or aligns, makes its self-realization, that point of self-realization, anything is possible. And the yogis, the prophets, the mystics of old, even the yogis and prophets of today, they all do that today. In fact, we have several of them that come and visit our chapel and demonstrate this fact, that anything is possible with the power of the mind. You know, the yogis and the mystics and healers, they instantly heal people's bodies in chronic conditions. They can manifest food for the hungry, as crazy as that sounds. I've seen it in small portions, but I've seen it. I've seen transformation of one item into another. And what is this from? This is really from the power of the mind, because that individual has aligned themselves with the God spark within. The God spark within. God didn't create us, humanity, to be ordinary. God didn't create us to roam this planet just existing like all the animals and creatures on the earth. We are special. As Reverend Tim was saying last week, we have free will. We have a thinking mind, and that free will allows our higher mind to express itself in this dimension and make change for good and bad. The planet has some good things going on and some bad things going on with it because of us. We're kind of like little parasites on this planet if you think about it. You know, we're not too helpful at times. We've got to work on that. But what I want to say is God created us to be great. God, I don't want you to think, don't you think that divine creator seeks to express itself in its greatest capacity? Yes or no? Yes. And don't you think, are we not individualized expressions of that God? Yes or no? So I will say this. Please understand, we can be nothing but great because we are that expression. We can be nothing but great. Especially when we take personal responsibility, when we take action to be great. When we change our mind, when we actually step into the action of doing the things that we change our mind towards. In the book of Genesis, it says, actually in the very first chapter, it talks about how, it says, so God created man in his own image. And what that scripture is saying, it's not talking about the physical body. Everybody thinks, most Christian churches, most religions think that God is a man on a cloud. And we even have a video, that funny video, God's not a white man. And that's true. God's not American. God's not a flag. God is an all-pervasive force that we exist inside of because and through. And it's very interesting because what that scripture, so God created man in his own image, what that's saying is that we are the divine image of God, the divine image, omnipresent, omnipotent image of God. The metaphysical interpretation means that God created us in its own image, as individualized units of itself. We are really little packets of God's greatness, if you think about it. Little packets. We literally hold within us the power to create worlds. There's a scripture in another place that says, "Know ye not your gods." So Jesus was trying to remind us in the New Testament, we are God in expression. He just used different words. We changed it, we use different words today, but it all means the same thing. We are symbolically God's children. God is the parent source from which we sprang. We are that God in expression. So I want us to say it. I am that I am.
I am that I am.
You say it again.
I am that I am.
It's true. I am that I am. And so we're more than these bodies. We're more than our minds. And God has planted in our garden of life these seeds of greatness that need to be unfolded. And really, Divine Creator wants us to leave a mark on our generation, on our community. Especially in this chapel, the metaphysical chapel. And I'll tell you, more than anything else, God wants us to be great. But I do know this. Some of us don't believe that the seed God planted in our garden, in our body temple, has the potential to be great. We've all thought it. I've thought it many times. You know, growing up was hard. Everybody's had a difficult life. And those are the points where we fear. In fact, I'm going to move into that and talk about fear now. That's a point of fear. It's false evidence appearing real when you break it down. I love that saying. False evidence appearing real. When we fear something, it's typically because our mind has created a monster out of a situation that really is not that threatening. It's just we made it that way, right? If you will change your mind, you'll change your life. And if you have fear inside of you that's holding you back, you know what you're doing? You're speaking words of defeat into your spirit. You're actually saying, I can't, I won't, I'm not. That's what you're doing. You can't keep going around saying all that stuff. You gotta, like he says, throw it behind you. I love when TJ says that, throw it behind you. Other churches will say, get thee behind me, Satan. We don't believe in Satan here. I'm just using that as an analogy. Throw it behind you. Throw that fear behind you. You know, when you have that mindset of I can't, I won't, I'm not, that's a mindset of lack and poverty. Your spirit is infected with lack and poverty in that moment. And you got to medically treat that. You got to wash your mind with that healing medicine of I can, I will, I shall, I am. You got to wash your mind with that. You got to change your perspective, change your heart, and expect to achieve a state of greatness in your life. And if you find people saying negative things about you when you're taking those steps towards greatness, don't engage them. Don't listen to them because their opinions of you doesn't matter in your life. They don't pay your bills. They don't drive you to church. They don't get you a job. Those people that are trying to pull you down are either threatened or jealous, or they're scared because you're going to far exceed them. I've seen it in relationships. When one person comes to this church and their spouse does not, sometimes the spouse gets a little jealous because they start seeing changes, betterment in that individual. And then jealousy begins and a little backbiting begins. And it's got to be worked out. Medicine has to be applied to that relationship. What I want to say is if you find people really engaging you in a negative way, like Michelle Obama said, which I think is so beautiful, if they take the low road, you will take the high road. You will demonstrate your first step to greatness by actually taking that high road. Because you come here on a Sunday morning, because you understand these teachings, because you understand the principles of karma. So I want you to say this every day. Yes, I can, I will, I am. And I want you to say it right now. I can, I am, I will. So let's say it again. I can, I am, and I will. And that's really about washing that mind with what they call positive affirmations. Because if you're not washing your mind with that healing medicine, your spirit is going to remain infected with I can't, I won't, I shan't, I shan't, I shan't. I'm channeling an Englishman now. Shan't. I can't, I won't, I'm not. That's what I wanted to say. Interesting. Folks, when you come upon these big problems, these challenges, what they call that mountain that you've got to climb, when you come upon those scary problems, you've got to believe that there is actually a solution for what has risen up against you. If you can walk and if you can talk, and we all say we can because we go to all these conferences, but if you can walk and talk and be the example, you can actually be the solution. You can be the solution, and I say that with all sincerity. Would God create us and then not give us the quality and potentials to achieve our own greatness? No. God created us with everything we need inside of us. Everything we need inside of us. And what I want to say is every problem has a solution, every question has an answer, and you are that answer. You've always been the answer. And the crazy part is we're all running around trying to get Apple Watches, cell phones, nice cars, nice jobs, nice houses in the right part of town. We're looking for things to make our lives great, when greatness is right here in our mind. It's in the mind principle. The Apple Watch, it's cool. See people use it all the time. Smartphones, cars, all kinds of things. Those are things that we think makes us happy. And like T.D. Jakes was saying in that video, which is so true, so many of my friends, even coworkers, running around with new clothes, new cars, new this and that, thinking that will make their life better and happier. And it really doesn't. It just embeds them into the banking system, unfortunately, where they are now slave to the lender because they borrowed everything. And I think next year I'm going to create a prosperity course. It's actually a multi-week prosperity course to teach you that. How to get away from this being slave to the lender. Because it's so valuable. That one principle transformed my life and has saved me so much misery from no longer being slave to the banking system. But that's another sermon. The crazy part is we hold the answer. You know, the answer comes through us. It comes through our mind. And that's how important every single one of us are. Each one of you. That's what I want to say. You're charged with the duty to bring God's presence into this dimension through your mind, through your heart, through your voice, through your hands, your feet, through your expression as a human being on this earth. You're meant to bring that light and shine that light as healing medicine for other people. Because I feed you and fuel you, and your life grows stronger on Sunday. I need you to go out in the community and do the same for someone else. That's what it's about being great. Mahatma Gandhi said, I love Mahatma. Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. That's what I did 10 years ago. I wanted to see a change in this community, in myself first, and in my community. And I fought to save this church. We were literally weeks to months from shutting the doors. We didn't have enough money. We were broke. We couldn't get speakers. We couldn't get attendees on the church service. We barely had 5 or 10. It was hard. But I was the change that we needed at this church to actually keep those doors open, keep the lights on. I became the change. And how did I do that? By becoming the example. I became the example for the community, and I want us to be the example in this community, especially starting here at the chapel. Starting here at the chapel. How do we do that? We help each other. And what do I say? We find a need and we fill a need. It's interesting, 2 weeks ago, Reverend Tim and I found a need in this chapel. One of our regular attendees is now homeless. No job, no money, no a lot of things. Really struggling. In fact, I know 2 people. I didn't even tell them about the other one. I know 2 people. But this one person in particular that I had thought about talking today, this person will start coming to church because this person lives near Reverend Tim. And when this person reaches out, Reverend Tim will bring them to the chapel. I've begun the process of helping them look for a job through staffing agencies. They don't have a resume, so I'm spending my time to help them put that together and make sure it's the best. Because if I can get them to a state of greatness and into this job and get their resume in a good order, maybe they'll get a minimum paying job to get them back on track. Right. I have found a need, and I feel that need in my chapel. And so that's why we're always espousing that. That's why we're always saying that. Start here at home. Because if we can work on each other and support each other, we can be great in the community. We can be great in the community. And I guarantee you, especially this person who's homeless, those 2 people who are homeless, I guarantee you they thought this question: do I matter? Do I matter? Isn't that interesting? I want to say, yes, you do matter. Yes, they do matter. And what matters is that we exist for a divine purpose to really go out and be a powerful, life-changing force in the planet, to help Mother Earth, to help our community, to help this chapel. What I want to say is we can't exist on this earth just being a mushroom in life or a rusty soul sitting around in retirement, right? They call it the golden years, but I hear some of them say it's the rusty years because they sit around and rust. But that's their problem. Why? Because they're not taking action. They're just sitting around the rocking chair doing what they're doing, but they're not creating dynamic energy in their life. The universe doesn't sit still. The universe is in motion. Scientists know this. They prove it. Galaxies spin, universes spin. Everything's spinning. Even our atoms, our atomic, subatomic particles are all spinning. And if you sit around, you rust. Right? You sit around, you rust. We can't sit around. We've got to be dynamic and moving in our community. And so, we are meant to bring through that power to action through our human embodiment, really through our mind, because that's really today what I'm talking about is the mind principle. Through these metaphysical teachings, that we are that great I am presence. And so I want us to say out loud so that I know somebody's awake in here. I want you to say, I matter, I'm enough.
I matter, I'm enough.
Say it again.
I matter, I'm enough.
I matter, I am enough. I am enough. Isn't that interesting? I am enough. I don't have to be great. I can work myself to greatness, but I'm enough. I'm exactly what God created me to be on this planet. I'm exactly what God created me to be. I don't care what other people think I need to be. I think I was talking to one of you yesterday, I forgot who it was, and I was saying our families try to program us into being the greatness they think we need to be, right? We all fought our parents trying to go to school and get our own degrees, probably, and they had other ideas. Mine certainly did. They weren't too thrilled that I moved into a woman's profession, as they called it, nursing. And I said, and at first I was a little offended, and I said to them, I finally stood up and said to my family, I'll make you a deal. I was very smart, very cheeky. I said, I'll make you a deal. I'll be whatever you want me to be. But from this day forward, you will pay 100% of all my bills and anything that I need in life, and you will take care of it. Or I'll go to school and I'll do what I want to do, be what I want to be, and I'll take care of myself the rest of my life. And they said, you go on ahead with your life. It was hard. I climbed that mountain. I almost became homeless at one point. 5 bean burritos for $1 in little Dorito chips. But that woke me up to maturing me real quick in college my freshman year, because I was on my own, building my future, my steps to greatness. Very interesting. My purpose, talking about purpose in life, my purpose appeared 10 years ago when I actually found this little chapel. When I found this chapel in Dania Beach, my purpose appeared when I began taking those steps to greatness to make my life great, to unfold my psychic abilities and to step into I didn't know it was my ministry at the time, but learning all this metaphysical stuff began my ministry. I was nesting when I fought to keep what had been built, the nest of this chapel, in place. They were tearing it down, shutting the doors, turning out the lights. And I rebuilt the nest of my ministry today. That's what I see I was doing back then when I fought. I did it as I was taking those steps to greatness, I did it through my volunteerism. I did it through volunteering in psychic fairs at the church on Sunday mornings. I did it when I began serving God's purpose through my unfoldment and not my own purpose. Because I was living for a higher power. I didn't know what it was yet. I barely understood the concept of God that was not a man on a cloud. Barely knew that because I was so brainwashed with that whole principle that God is a physical being on a cloud that's going to judge me. And this whole metaphysical understanding that God is an omnipresent force that we exist in and because of and through, and God is love, and God is not judgmental. And so when I moved into that understanding, I understood that my purpose was not important, but the spirit world, God's purpose was more important than mine, and that's when my purpose began to appear. When I started giving abundantly, when I would, not necessarily tithe, but when I gave what I could, when I gave abundantly and selflessly through a vibration of love for the spirit world, it wasn't for the church, it was for the spirit world and for God, the principles of higher life that are around supporting my journey. That's why I give to the church, and that's really the only reason you should give. Because you give back to the source that gave it to you, and the church benefits secondarily to carry forward that vision and the teachings. of those higher principles. That's why giving, that's the way when we go into giving later on in the year, I will teach you those principles. Okay? And so what I want to say is whenever I gave abundantly from that spirit of abundance, I received abundantly. My life prospered. I got good jobs. I got noticed. I got some promotions. Wonderful things came to me. And the reason why is because it's a law of reciprocity. That's a universal natural law. And it means that what you give comes back to you. What you sow, that's what you reap. And so, friends, your purpose, your calling is really that thing that inside of you that makes you beam, makes your life vibrate in such a way that everything around you just comes to life. And the thing that brings you the greatest happiness, that makes you vibrate, resonate, beam, that's your purpose. I guarantee you that's your purpose. That's what you're meant to do. That's what you're resonating at, and why you're so giddy happy, and you can pour 100% of your time into that thing. Into that thing. So I can hear you saying, okay, Kevin, that's a great definition and all. So how do I find my thing? How do I know what to do? What is my purpose? What do I do? What's my purpose? The only way to ever find it, that purpose, your calling, is to lose yourself in service to another person. Through selfless service to another person. And that's part of the key. So many people are so spiritually lazy in life, they couldn't be bothered with helping another person. I see it all the time. Couldn't be bothered. People on the street corners, walking up trying to get some help. It's not our job to judge what they're going to be doing or smoking with it or whatever. It's not our place to judge them. Their job is to serve a need. And what they choose to do with it, that's their karmic journey. That's not your journey. You know, that was a hard lesson for me to learn. I'm always trying to give, and years ago I used to judge, oh, what are they going to do with that money I give them? They look like this, they smell like that. You know, that's judgment. We can't do that. It's their journey to make that decision. In the book of Psalms, it talks about how God will guide you. Those 4 little words may sound simple, but what it means is actually very powerful. That is what they call God speak. That is natural intuition, gut instinct, a mother's instinct, intuition, hunches, if you will. These are those psychic faculties that the Bible talks about in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verses 4 through 11. That's just one place where they're listed. All those different aspects that are very innate inside of ourselves. And when you start to listen to those nudges, friends, you're going to start finding your purpose. It's a very gentle, it's almost like a whisper when I hear it. It reminds me of a memory that floods into my mind. It's not words or things that I hear or songs. It's like a memory that pops into my head that rolls around, and you can't seem to get it out of your head. There's a reason why it's there. Focus on that. That's what they call God speak. That's intuition, your psychic faculties. If we begin that process of listening and starting to change our mind, I guarantee you you're going to change your life. You're going to be a blessing, and God wants us to be a blessing. God wants us to be blessed so that we can be a blessing for other people out in the community. We're all seeking our highest expression of our greatness, aren't we? And so nowadays everybody in the goldfish is writing a book, right? Everybody's got a book. Audiobooks, Kindles, DVDs, videos, everybody's got something. But what are they doing? These people just want to be heard. They just want to be heard. They're trying to matter in life. They're trying to matter in life. They are seeking to really their greatest form of expression. They want their greatness to express out of them to you, the recipient, because they know that they're serving a purpose that you have a need in your life. There's a purpose for you receiving that information. That's what they're trying to do. And they are innately, their spirit is pushing them, guiding them to do that. And they're listening to that God speak. They're listening to their spirit being pushed by the winds of God, if you will. Very interesting. They're creating all this. So my question for you is this. What will your story be? What will your story be in this life? In this life. We've got many lives to live, but what in this life? That's what matters, the now. What will your story be? Could it be that you might have been held back by fear of life, that false evidence appearing real? Or maybe that you were too lazy to care about helping other people. Maybe that you were too busy running around taking all these metaphysical courses and getting psychic readings and getting degrees and ordinations and all this. all over town when you could have been walking up to your brothers and sisters here in the chapel and saying, what can I pray for in your life? When you could have been fundraising for the chapel so that we could actually have a $75 a week drummer that we need. Right? When you could have been out there networking in the city so that people can actually know we exist and come and visit us and learn these truths. Learn the truth that God is not a judgmental God, because there is no concept like that. That's a misunderstood concept. There's the concept that there is death. There is no death. There is only a continuity of life. Every world religion's holy book says the exact same thing. It's just unfortunately some of the institutions around the world have changed it and turned the center into a gate that you got to buy your access through. And it's unacceptable. Like they said, I'm going to say it, in Saturday Night Live, Homie the Clown said, "Homie, don't play that game." I don't teach that. I don't teach that. You all are God in expression. You have direct access to God. It's not through me. I can guide you and give you helpful perspectives in life as a minister, as the messenger. But it's your job to reach that point of connection with that divine source. Don't you believe that if I only taught those last two principles, that there's no death, that God is not a judgmental God, there's no judgment, don't you think that we can transform lives to greatness through just those two principles? Think how powerful all the damage that's been done in the world because of those two principles. The fear of death and judgment. Those two things. If all I taught on every Sunday was that from different perspectives, I would transform people's lives. I'd take fear out of their life. No other church in South Florida really teaches these principles, because 99% of them are teaching those, rushing around teaching those false principles. They're actually very ungodly principles that they're of fear. They teach the principles of sin and judgment and damnation. We don't teach that. We teach higher truth of a God within, a God of love, a God of no judgment, a God that you are enough. That's what we teach. You are enough. As you graciously grow to your greatest expression in life, as you grow towards that I am presence that you were really meant to be. Folks, your first step to greatness in the month of February, what I want to say is, it's really the renewing of your mind. As T.D. Jakes beautifully said, renew the mind. Change your mind and you'll change your life. It's a new year. It's a new me. It's a new year. It's a new me. I love it. That's why I've been having to say that. It's really about tackling those fears in our life head on. The thing you don't want to address in your life is exactly the first thing you need to address in your life. Did you ever think of that? The thing you don't want to look at, the thing you don't want to talk about, the thing you don't want to bring up or remember is exactly the thing that's holding you back from greatness in your life. You've got to tackle it, because it's in the serving others that your light actually gets brighter, and then you begin to share that light in abundance with other people. When your light grows stronger, you innately, naturally spread that light out to heal others. And that's the golden key. That's the golden key that unlocks your first step to greatness. Renew your mind. Renew your mind. That's the principle I want to say to you. And I think there's some powerful spirits in here today with that statement. I think I need to take a little extra sip of another spirit. Well, it's good whiskey. Thank you, Tim. Well, what I want to say, Reverend Tim, can I have another hour? I got to go to step number 2. No, Reverend Tim says no. So you're going to have to come back next week for step number 2. I'm going to get you to step number 4. Next week's amazing. I'm so excited about step number 2. What I want us to do is just bring this message into our spirit today. Let's say in unison together. We are here to create a space that transforms lives to greatness. Good enough. You are enough. Namaste.
Namaste.